I welcome you all for today's webinar that is on Are You Ready for Job Interview? Insider Tip to Land Your Dream Job. So today's webinar is brought to you by Varthana. I'll give a brief description about Varthana. Varthana is a non-banking finance company. Our core our core work is to provide loans to student and school. Also, we do a lot of academic support. So we are doing this series of webinar for students quite frequently. So please stay tuned to us. We'll also be issuing participation certificates to those who will attend the webinar throughout, and you have to fill a feedback form towards the end to get the participation certificate. Please stay tuned to the webinar till end. Then only you'll be eligible for the participation certificate. Ensure that you're filling the feedback form. So let's move on and see what is today's agenda and what we are going to cover in today's webinar. We'll start with introduction, session objective, context, planning and preparing for an interview, type of interview question, salary negotiation, and rejection handling, followed by feedback and closing. So before we move into the session, I'll just launch a poll here to understand your academic background. So I'll be launching a poll. Please opt for your answer. What is your academic qualification? I'm going to publish the result. So most of the people who have joined us today have done bachelor's and master's degree. Hope this session will add some value, as you must be looking for a job. So move into today's session and see what is objective of today's webinar. So we'll be covering how to plan and prepare and ace an interview, followed by learn negotiation skill and how to handle rejection. So this is our webinar objective. So let's move on and see that context, what is happening in India in terms of job scenario and recruitment. So if you all agree to me that getting a dream job is a difficult thing in today's world, you can put your yes and no in Q&A section. Do you agree to me that getting a job or a dream job in today's scenario is difficult? You can put your yes and no in Q&A section. I would like to hear some responses. Yes, thank you, Pooja. Got another yes from Suresh. Please use chat box as much as possible to make the webinar interactive and learn together. Yes, thank you. So yeah, we all agree somewhere that getting a job in today's context is difficult. Let's see what is the market scenario right now in India. So as we all know that India is a populous country, our population is increasing day by day, but the opportunity is also increasing along with it. So there's a surge in job is seen in 2022 by 23%, which is a good growth rate. So the number of opportunity and employment employment is increasing, but there are 1.4 million unemployed people who are seeking job in 2022. So there is opportunity, but it's not matching the people who are seeking this. So there's a lot of unemployment as well. And according to some research data, it also shows that it shows that those who apply for job, if you're, as an applicant, you're applying for a job, the chances of getting an interview schedule is only 2 to 3%. So for example, if you're applying for 100 job or 100 vacancy, the chances of getting the interview call is 2 to 3%. Though once you get the interview call, the conversion rate is around 42%. So 42 people got selected, but the rest of the rest of 58 gets rejected. So we can clearly see that the opportunity is limited, the market is competitive, and the interview is a major milestone. And if you're someone who's looking to get a job in top performing industry like medical engineer, medical and in IT and these sectors, the conversion rate is only 12 to 17%. So this 42% is for all the other fields. But if you're looking for those industries or those jobs which are top performing, the conversion rate is only 12 to 17%. That people put a lot of screening, and the selection process is really difficult to get through. So now we have seen that this is the job scenario in India, and hopefully we'll figure out how we can have a win-win situation in this job scenario. But before we move ahead to that, let's see what a job application process look like. I'm assuming that many of you are like freshers, or someone who is in college looking to get a job, or will be soon looking for a job, or maybe have done some job. So the in the job application process, you start with search. You prepare your resume because your screening process is through resume in many organizations. So it's important to have an effective resume. And we have also done a session over that. You can go to that session and take a look. You prepare your prepare and write a cover letter. You start applying for job. Like as I said, that you apply for 100 job and get 2 to 3 calls back. So interview become a very crucial thing. Like you hardly get there to that step. So it's important to cross that milestone, because rest of the thing in the application process is something which is smooth and can be easily figured out. But interview is a major a major milestone which like a candidate need to achieve, followed by a follow up. We'll take a look at it. So right now we have covered that what is the context, what is happening, and what the job application process look like. So do you like think that like how many of you have appeared in a job interview so far, and what was the challenging part of it? Can you just respond quickly in the Q&A section that how many of you have given some sort of interview, maybe even if it's for internship? Please put it in the Q&A section, and you can also raise your hand and share your experience. Anyone who has given an interview so far or appeared for an interview? Yes, resume creation. Okay. No, okay. So I got one response from Pooja. Thank you for your response that she has not appeared for an interview. It's a difficult and challenging process. Like appearing for interview, a proper planning is required, a proper understanding, resume preparation, as someone has mentioned in the chat box, is required, because that's the first screening part. And you need to like dress properly and give a professional look. So these are a few challenges which a person come through. But one of the biggest challenges is how to tackle and show your capability and capacity to the interviewer. What are the things a interviewer look at when they're interviewing you? So let's move ahead and see that to overcome these challenges, what you face during interview, how you can plan and prepare in advance so you don't have the same issue while going through the interview, and you'll be able to give your best. So we'll start with planning. Planning is quite crucial for interview because again, like it's very stressful. People face this lot of stress induced anxiety when they have to sit for interview, and especially for those who will be appearing for it for the first time, as I didn't get any like much responses in that related to that thing. So first time when you'll be preparing and appearing for will be appearing for an interview, it's going to be stressful, and it's a like one time opportunity if you're looking for a specific organization. So a proper planning will help you to achieve your goal, or to get the opportunity, or go through the interview process confidently. So it definitely, a proper planning enhances your chances of selection. A person who is well prepared is always able to deliver better and stand out. So that's crucial. So what you can do, you can do a bit of company research. You can focus on company vision, mission, for how long company is working, in which locations they are operating, how the segment is working, which target, which is the target group for the organization. And so it will help you to answer that, how you can cater the organization, what you'll bring on the table for the organization. So this planning will help you to be ready for it. And you can also research about your interview. You can check it out on LinkedIn, who's going to interview you, what is their experience, what is their academic qualification. You can have a prepared set of question, which is very crucial set of question, where you know that these are the common question which every interviewer asks, and you can prepare an answer in advance. These are mostly non-technical questions, and in today's webinar we'll be focusing on that only. And you can also have a set of questions to ask when you're leaving the interview, when you're to know more about organization. The question can be related to what is the organizational culture, is it flexible, people oriented, and what is the growth opportunity when you're joining an organization, where you can see yourself, what is their performance employment, are the employee fairly compensated for the effort and work they are putting. So these are a few of the questions you can ask. And also there's a lot of research data shows that a person who attends and take a lot of mock interview before the real interview, the chances of them getting selected is quite high, because like they are prepared, they know what to say and how to say it. So those will do a mock interview, that the chances will definitely increase. So I'll encourage everyone to definitely take a mock interview before going for a real interview. Be prepared, just keep your resume ready, rework on your resume, proofread it, get a printout, arrange your documents, just choose the appropriate clothes for your interview. Your clothes should be neat and clean, and dress for the interview. This will also give this vibe that you're organized person, and organizational skill, organizing thing is a skill which many organizations look for. So like your demeanor, the way you're carrying yourself, the way you are coming prepared, plays a major role. And like there's a lot of non-verbal hint you can give to your employer that why you are different from others. So these things play a major role, because many times people form a perception about an applicant by seeing their outer appearance. So do not overlook this. Also, it's crucial to end the conversation and wrap it, and not end it without any closure. So after the interview, prepare a thank you note in advance. Thank your employer for giving you opportunity to prepare and to participate in the interview process, what you have learned from them, and what how you will add some sort of value. So here you're also doing your value proposition by saying that I have the skill set which will add value to you. I can be a valuable employee, as I know how to close a conversation, show gratitude towards opportunity, and willing to learn. It's also important to prepare your where your venue is, the accommodation, all these things. Do not try sit towards the end and plan it, because a delay will again impact your impression on the employer. And many times when someone is arriving late, that's a step where people just tend to reject them, because you're not serious about the job role. So ensure that you're on time, and you have critical information and name that will give this impression that you are serious about the organization, and you're willing to explore more and learn more and join them. So having these information is quite important. Just ensure that you follow basic discipline, that is turning off your cell phone, and avoiding any sort of interruption until unless it's really urgent. Eat a healthy meal, healthy food nurtures healthy mind. So it's important. And please sleep, as I said that interview can be stress inducing. So take a proper sleep, that will definitely impact your performance the next day when you'll be appearing for the interview. So this is the way effectively you can plan an interview to overcome the challenges. We'll start deep diving into it and see. But I would like to know that what do you think? What an employer look for, or what make you stand out in an interview? What are some things which make one applicant stand out in compared to others? You can share in Q&A section, and you can also raise your hand. How you're different from others when you're appearing for an interview? What are the things you're bringing on the table? What are the things you can present about yourself? Yes. So, okay, I'll just cover that. What are the things which make you stand out? Confidence is one of them. The first impression is built by, how confident you are. Communication, how you're communicating. These are few of the skills. We'll discuss that. One is research. how much you're capable of figuring out information by yourself and you using that information in best possible way. So a researcher, like interviewer, definitely look for your research ability, the preparation you have done. Like the more you are prepared, the better you're going to be in compared to others. So it's very important how punctual you are, which we have discussed in the previous slide, that avoid any sort of delay. Be professional, communicate, be an active communicator, be an active listener, show and showcase a lot of confidence, follow up. Just ensure that you are being genuine in the process. That will make you stand out. So, like as per our experiences in this field, people tend to take those applicant more in compared to like in compared to others who are process oriented and who are willing to learn. So it doesn't, like many times it doesn't matter, especially for you as a fresher, those who are fresher, maybe you not know something, but how much you're willing to learn and grow from there, that plays a major role. And you can communicate all these standards through communication and all other aspect of it. So let's move on and see that how you can do effective research. So in today's webinar, we'll focusing more on research and preparation, uh, and a bit of communication, that when someone is asking you a question, how you can communicate and answer them, and demonstrate confidence and listening skill. So let's move ahead and see that how you can do research. So research is important to understand the company you're applying for, and also to understand whether it's matching your short-term and long-term goal or not. So whatever you are applying for example, I'm someone who is interested in customer service, but I'm applying for an operational job, operation team job, where I have to take care of operational tasks. It's not aligning with my long-term goal. So like understanding and knowing about the organization will give you understanding whether this job is for you or not, it's matching your long-term, short-term goal or not, and is it exciting enough for you or not. Because if it's not, then you won't be able to sustain, or you won't feel motivated in work. And as a fresher, it's always a good idea to like stay back and serve the organization for a longer duration, gain then experience, and that will also like add a lot of value for your next job. So what are the things you can search as, what is the industry they are operating in, what are the policies around it, how the industry is performing, which are the locations they are catering, what is the team size, a bit about the target audience, and what are the product and services they are offering, what are their future plans if available. So these are the things which you can research and keep the information ready, and you can effectively use these information for your interview. When you're answering question, you can pull their data and frame it and present it back to them, and add your skill set and show that how you are a valuable asset for them. So let's move on and see that research is there. What would be the next step? That is preparation. What are the preparation you should do before interview? So few of the pre-interview tips are, just please be familiar with the job description. Many people overlook the job description. They don't read it. And that's the point you get rejected because like there is all the detail, what employer is looking for, the skill set, and if you want to get selected, please just read your job description. That is very crucial. So you'll get to know what the person is looking for, what they're looking to hire for, and you can prepare yourself and present yourself in similar way. Work on your CV for whichever job or position you're applying, organization you're applying. Proofread it. It's important to proofread your CV. Do a SWOT analysis, knowing your strength, weakness, opportunity, threats, give you a lot of scope of answering question and a non-technical question. Dress to impress, we have already covered. Prepared some brief responses, some common question will be covering this, and also prepared with a elevated pitch. So many times you hardly get 2 to 3 minute time to like give your impression. So be prepared for it. What you can do is start with your name, start with your name, present your idea, like build your idea, give some examples, and also say that you know what like the thought you're presenting, how it's different from others which is existing there, and leave the room open for others to understand. So always go with the elevated pitch, because interview is a tiring process for even those who are taking it. And elevated pitch will help you to grab that attention and have that time for yourself to negotiate that job. So go prepared for this. Some of the during interview tips can be walk in confidently, give a formal gesture, be natural and pay attention. Also drop a lot of non-verbal hints that you are also interested in the job. Show a lot of enthusiasm, not when somebody is asking. Cross question, if you're interested in knowing something, uh, tell them. Try to add small example from your life experiences. And please, for those who are not fresher and avoid like are like professional with some experience, please avoid talking negatively about the previous company, because that will just sort of give negative impression about you, that maybe you're not a very optimistic person. And like this is one thing which employer look for, that how much you are willing to put in, give, and how much you are contributing in maintaining a positive environment. Try to answer crisply and concisely. Be short but clear. Don't lie. Lying is a deal breaker in the like interview. If you don't know something, you can politely say that that you don't know about this, or maybe you're not well versed with it. Just admit that, but do not lie. Even if you don't have experience, do not try to forge experience, because these people are taking interview day in and out. So lying, like, doesn't matter how skillful you are, knowledgeable you are, and how much potential you have. If you're lying, sitting and lying in an interview, rejection, there are like 99% of the chances that you may get rejected. So avoid doing that. If you're a fresher, like, avoid asking like more holiday related question or salary related. Show that you're more enthusiastic about learning and growing and working and experiencing, instead of focusing on these trivial things. Make sure that you thank you the interviewer. Again, it's a gesture that it's a gesture, and you should always follow that you're thanking your interviewer after the interview completion. And what you can do post interview, again, is crucial. While leaving the interview venue, when your interview is done, you can ask them that what is the next step. If I get selected, how you going to communicate to me? How much time will take to get back to me? What I can expect from your end? Share a thank you note, which we have discussed. That thank you for giving me the opportunity to appear, and if I'll get the opportunity, I'll show my worth and will be dedicated for the organization. Assess your interview performance. Sometimes the biggest mistake we do is we just sit for the outcome without assessing how it was. So once the interview is done, come assess yourself, ask yourself what went well, what could have been better, and also be very objective about it. What do you think your chances of getting selected? There's a possibility that maybe the job role was not for you. There's a possibility that your interview was not that great, and you're just sitting in this hope. So it's important to be practical. Assess how was it, what are your chances of getting the job, and if not, like, if there are chances, good, get comfortable and wait for it. Have patience, have faith. But if you think it didn't work that well, start preparing again. Start applying for other places, start working on your skill set. But if you think that it went well and you're not getting to hear anything from the organization after even 2-3 weeks, it's always a good idea to get in touch with them and take a follow up. So that's like one of the post interview tip you can do. So we have covered planning and how to prepare for interview. It's also important to know that what an interviewer is looking for, like when someone is assessing what they're looking for in an applicant. So again, the floor is open for you. I would like to hear that. What do you think that? What are the things interviewer is looking for apart from your technical knowledge? As a fresher, there's ample of scope that they'll teach you those technical knowledge or technical things. So let's not focus too much there. Let's try to understand that what are the what an employer is looking in an applicant. So you can share your responses in Q&A section. So I'll just move on. I'll just reshare one thing that towards the end of the webinar, we'll be sharing a participation certificate to those who will be filling the feedback form and attending the webinar till end. Please ensure that you are doing it. This is for those who have joined late. So moving on, the employer look for those people who are willing to learn, who have team spirit, they have ability to work in a team, they have management skills, they are good at managing things, good technical skills. But again, the technical skill is something which can always be enhanced. And even there are a lot of changes which is happening in job market and the sector you are working in. So the constant upgradation and support is always there in terms of technical, but they also pay a lot of attention on confidence level, because confidence somewhere showcase that you have knowledge, you have ability, capability, and skill set to perform a task, and what sort of personality type you are. Personality type is again crucial because it's important. People look for positive people, optimistic people, those who have more of problem solving approach and compared to those who are more into creating trouble. So to understand and to find a suitable applicant, interviewers ask certain set of question. So I'll just move on. We'll just cover that what are the type of question an interviewer asks to assess these qualities before hiring an applicant or before hiring an employee. So the type of questions are related to personality, ability, knowledge, qualification, behavior, and critical thinking. So these are the generally non-technical question which people ask. So there is technical round, non-technical round, and HR round. We'll be focusing more on non-technical round and HR round. So let's start that what sort of personality question an interviewer asks. But before that, we'll see that how you can answer a question. So there are a few tips which you can take care of while answering the question. So just always go prepared, as I have constantly putting a lot of emphasis since beginning, that compile a list of questions. Go prepared with certain answers. Again, depending on the situation, you can mold your answer, but it's always a good idea to go prepared with a set of answer. Provide some example in your responses. So when you are giving an answer, not necessarily every time you have to give that response or example, but try to include some short examples while sharing your thought process or while answering the question, and try not to make assumptions. So if you're confused about something, do not jump the guns. Wait for a while. Think about it. Take your time. Respond. Take your time to respond. Uh, but in case if you are confused, just ask cross question and get more clarity on it instead of just giving a random vague or incorrect answer. It's always a good idea to seek that clarity and not assume anything. So let's move ahead and see that what sort of personality type question they ask. The personality type question is more to understand you as a person, your personality, a background, and so if someone is from north and I'm offering a job to the person in south, how compatible the person would be to take up that job. So this will just give a your interviewer an overview about you, what you are, who you are, and what sort of what motivates you, and how you will contribute as a person. So some of the common questions for fresher can be related to tell me about yourself, your strength and weaknesses, how your strength can add value to this role. For professional, working professional, the question can be around, that what are some changes you have brought, or what are some changes in your opinion you have of transformation or changes you have gone through, why what do you want to work for this company, what is the why are you suitable for this job role. So this is just to know more about it, that how you're as a person, and are you really interested in the job or not as a fresher, and if you're interested, what sort of strengths and weaknesses which I can as a employer tap on. So I'll just give a sample answer here for the question. Tell me about yourself. So the sample answer can be, my name is Shavika. I have done my master's in social work from Tata Institute of Social Sciences. My specialization is women-centered practice. Through my learning years, during my learning years, I have, along with the theories, I have learned a lot practically by doing a lot of internship and field work and interventions and field. I'm very dynamic and like I love reading, exploring places, and uh, exploring places. And also one of my strength is that I'm adaptable, and my hobbies are, as I've mentioned, that reading, internet surfing, exploring and researching a lot of things what is happening around. So these are some of my hobbies. What are your I'll answer another question, I'll give another sample answer from why you're suitable for this job. So I am working in this industry for last 5 years. I have worked in my previous organization across vertical. I have a lot of hands-on learning and experience, and also experience of managing a team. I have like showcased my potential through working through difficult situation and condition. Because when I was working in the organization, the COVID hit and the work structure shifted all of a sudden. So like I managed to move ahead with that shift, and also help my team to transition to the shift. And I think in this organization, I'm going to add a lot of value because I'm adaptable for sure. And the organization value is matching my core value, because at core I want to serve the community. And somewhere the organization is working in affordable education, and aiming to transform the affordable education. This is a place where I can give my 100%, because I'm researching for those organizations which are working at core, and they have very strong value and ethics. So I feel that I feel aligned, and if like it suits my work profile, I'll stick to the organization and give my best, because I feel a motivated employee perform better, and I feel that I'm motivated enough for this job. So these can be like you can just like mold your answer depending on the question, length of your answer, all. So you can work through that. The other type of question can be related to ability and knowledge, like what you're bringing to the job, what is the skill set you have. So the question can be around like what is the skill set you have, what is your biggest accomplishment, and what are the things apart from your academic knowledge, what are the other skill set you have. So here it's mostly to understand and assess your ability, how much you'll be able to do a task, what are the additional skill set, what are the skill set you have to perform a task apart from your technical knowledge. And also how much willing you are to like accomplish that task. So that is crucial. So abilities are important, because along with personality and your technical knowledge, ability will determine that even if I'll hire you as a hiring manager or as an employer, from here where you can go and what you're already bringing for the organization. Because it's difficult for people to start building people from scratch and teach them like step by step, develop skills. There is definitely improvement in skills, but people prefer to hire those who are coming with certain skill set, and there's definitely scope of growing and enhancing. So what skill, like I'll just give a sample answer here again. What skill do you bring to this job? Talking about my skill, I am highly self-motivated person. I'm good at communication, and I also I'm good at building social interpersonal relationship. I like socializing with people, and I also believe that half of your work is done when you share good relationship with people. Because there are a lot of tasks where we'll need support, need other people opinion and advices. So this building interpersonal skill will add a lot of value for the organization, because there would be collaboration work which you do on daily for different projects. Hopefully my this skill set will help in those collaboration as well. Which I'll answer for another question, that what experience do you bring to the, like I'll just question this thing, what was the most rewarding thing about your previous job? So the most rewarding thing about my previous job is I used to do like direct intervention with the community people. which is very satisfying and motivating. There's a lot of experience and a lot of things to learn. Though there are a lot of challenges, but I'm someone who's a problem solver. I like to get into a problem, think through a 360-degree and come up with solution. So one of the most rewarding thing about my job is intense field work. I used to enjoy it thoroughly. I used to go interact, build relationship, and indulge a lot in problem solving. That gives me a lot of thrill. Like I like challenging work, and problem solving give me the sense of accomplishment. So I think that's one of the most rewarding part of my previous job. Let's move to the other other type of question which an employer will ask you is about your qualification. What qualification do you have? Are you qualified enough for it or not? Or the degree you're holding is for this job or not? So, for example, if you're a hotel management student and you're applying for a sales job, like maybe your skill set is not matching for the job. So understanding about the education qualification gives your employer an understanding that how much suitable you are for this particular job, or whether your education background is matching the job requirement or not. And even if not, what is the scope, what are the other things they can do, or certification course they can hold for you, they can conduct for you to upskill you. So some of the question can be, what are the trainings you have done, or what is the highest level of education you have completed, what certification do you hold, and some related to what steps do you take to avoid errors, what are the how your experience will benefit the company, and how do you how did you produce result in your last job. So one of the sample answer for this, that what is the highest level of education you have completed. The highest level of education I have completed is masters, but I'm also looking forward to do my PhD. So here you are giving a crisp answer and also sharing your future vision. And also so just ensure that you're depending on the question you can answer. It can be short, crisp, clear, but there are times when you have to add more examples. So the other question which I'll pick and give a sample answer is, can you explain how you produce a result in your last job? So last year there was a shift in my responsibility. There was a project shift. We took up a new project. Everyone was quite new to the project, but and initially we were sort of directionless. So first I started with planning that where to head from here. What are the resources we have in hand? How to employ those resources in best possible way to accomplish the outcome. So I'll just give you an example. So I had a team of 2 members, and the scalability was quite large. We were catering 2 states. So we started figuring out whom we can tap and take help from. We ended up reaching out to the regional branches who are already working there, and start coordinating with them, and they help us to achieve the desired outcome. And we were able to hit our target on time. So my way of approaching and getting the desired outcome is to have a proper planning in place. Know your resources, deploy those resources, monitor the process, and get the outcome. So let's move on and see that how we can do that. And you can also mention your education qualifications, stating that I'm I'm a management student, and I have this planning, organizing, monitoring, controlling skill, and that adds value. So moving on, the other kind of question which is very crucial is behavioral question. This is like one of the most neglected aspect. But when you're organizing, applying for an organization, your behavior plays a major role, because your coordination, your work output, your productivity, and the people who are working with you productivity depends a lot on your behavior. If you are lacking and falling behind for something, it is going to impact the larger goal. So behavioral question is more to handle how you're going to handle situation, how you respond or react in a situation, how quickly what are the efforts you take to achieve your goal, your approach of not giving up. So some of the question employer can ask you is related to how do you set priority, how do you handle a challenge, can you provide an example of goal, and how do you reach like how you achieved it. Some of the professional, some of the questions for those people who have already previous prior experiences can be, how do you handle deadlines? How do you work under pressure? So I'll talk about how, I'll give a sample answer for this, that how do you set priorities. So I'm quite familiar with the Eisenberg matrix of what is urgent, what is important, what is not urgent but important. So always try to use that matrix when it comes to my work, or even during my study. I used to see that which project is important to deliver, which deadline is coming, which I can put in urgent matrix, which is important. Maybe I'm writing a dissertation that is important, but the deadline is just not next to me. Maybe I have to coordinate for shifting my luggage from one place to another place. That's urgent, but not necessary that I have to do it. I can pull some resources to get it done. And there's some extra things which is involved in my life, like maybe scrolling social media, spending too much time on phone, talking to friends. So these are the things which I can cut out. So I use this matrix to prioritize my thing. So I always have a clear understanding. Along with that, I also maintain a personal tracker to and list it down every day, that what I'm supposed to do in throughout day, what I'm going to focus on, and towards the, like, at the end of the day, I evaluate what I have achieved. And I have done this throughout my academic year, and that's how I was able to like perform better and like prepare for competitive exam while studying. So can you like one of the answer I'll give from the push from for those sample answer for those who are already working, that like how do you handle deadline? So my way of handling deadline is to start planning in advance. Plan that what do a forward planning, that this is a goal which I'm supposed to achieve. I'll be able, I'll put some checklist and checkpoints in between to assess, and I'll also just ensure that there are required resources to achieve the deadline. But there are times when I fall short on delivering the deadline. It's always a good approach to keep the management or whoever you are reporting in loop. But like when there is a deadline, my approach, my efforts and resources, I try to put everything there. Again, depending on the resources required, how important it is. But yeah, if there is a work which is given to me, I always ensure that I have delivered it on time. So, for example, in my previous organization, they have asked me to deliver a presentation in 3 days. Though the time was really short, there was a like time crunch, but the presentation was quite crucial. So I start looking for resources who can help me to accomplish the task. Is there someone who is good with that content who can help me in proofreading my deck, and who can help me to like make the required calls to gather the participation. So if there's a deadline, there's a short deadline, and if the delivery is there, I try to pull and manage all the resources which is required to accomplish that task, and see what requires my attention and focus, and give my attention and focus to that task. So that's my approach. Also, let's move to the next type of question, that is critical thinking and questioning. That what sort of question an employer asks, and why critical thinking is important. So as we all know that we are like living in this dynamic growing era where things are changing quickly, like the technologies are shifting, the employability of employment opportunities shifting, the way we are working, the method, the people, processes, everything is shifting. So like there's a lot of shift which is happening. So critical thinking is an ability which help an employer to understand that if you are coming, how you're looking at something differently, what are the different things you are bringing on the table. Do you have any ideas how vocal and open you are towards change? Because it's a very like fast moving changing world. So a critical person gives a lot of valuable insight and input for an organization to grow. So it's one of the skill which is quite in demand, and it's everywhere, like every people try to assess the skill. Some of the ways of assessing this skill, or some of the question which people ask around this is like how open you are towards new idea, whether you're open or not, were you able to accept opposing point. That will also help you, the employer, to understand your flexibility as a person, your mindedness, because there are a lot of people who come with fixed mindset. So how open minded you are, how open you are to change, evolve, and grow. What are the quick decision making techniques you have, how holistically you're able to view at a thing and then come up with a decision. What is your some of the question for those who are already working or have some work experience, can be around that, if there's a person whose performance is impacting the overall quality of the project, how you're going to cater that, what are the steps you take to address issues. So this is more on learning by doing, and also showcasing your knowledge by doing. So critical thinking is ability to understand, comprehend, reflect, and come up with a solution. So let's see that how you can answer as a fresher this question, that how open you are to new ideas. So I'm quite open towards new idea because I'm familiar with the dynamic world around, and I personally believe that change is good. Change is something which is necessary for growth. So I would love, like, I'm a good listener and observer. I like listening to other people, their point of view, and then try to reflect and see that what are the connection, what is something I can learn from them. But I also try to be very objective in the process, and I just do not take ideas as it is. I do a reflection on it and come up with my thoughts on it, instead of just following the thoughts. So that's my approach, that I prefer reflecting on it and making my own thought process, and not only just taking the idea as it is. So definitely open towards it, but put a lot of mind and thoughts to it when the idea is there in front of me. So by doing this, I'm also saying that I don't just take an advice or take a suggestion. There's a lot I do with that suggestion, and that is somewhere showing that I'm a keen learner. I'm open towards learning. I'm reflecting. So these are the skill set which is required. These are 21st century skill which will help you to grow. So try to include all these skill set when you're answering a question. Another sample answer I'll give for this question, that if there's a situation, one person performance is impacting the entire team performance or the quality project, how you gonna do it? So my first approach, I have, in my previous organization, I have come across some similar situation where there's this person who was constantly performing good, but later on the performance started declining. So I try to understand by having a one-on-one conversation instead of asking openly in front of everyone. I sat with the person, try to understand what is the need, what are the challenges the person is facing, what is impacting the work quality. Based on that, I set and make a action plan. I do it with the person I was dealing with. We created an action plan to which we both agreed to, that these are the steps we can take to take it ahead. After that, I started monitoring the action plan. We have put some checkpoints that after 2 weeks we'll get back together. We'll have a debrief. What is working out in the action plan? What is the additional support or resources the person needs? And till end, we were able to achieve the project and improve. I was able to bring the quality of project back to what it was or what is expected. And by doing this constant intervention, by understanding the individual need, providing an action plan, monitoring, and also encouraging at the same time, because motivation plays a major role. And like at times people get demotivated due to multiple reasons. So it's quite important to have a check and of these motivational levels. So here I have showcased that I'm an empathetic team player, someone who's resourceful, who is able to manage resources to provide that support, someone who is more into knowing and understanding what you can do as a team, what other outcome you can come together as a team. So these are the skill which I have demonstrated along with the critical thinking. When I'm saying that we came up with a plan, there's a lot of thinking involved in it. So I was able to like showcase my skill set and also other skill set which I have demonstrated in my previous organization and also in the organization I'm looking forward to work with. So that's how like that can be another sample answer you can give. So this is more of non-technical questions. Let's move and see that what are the HR interview questions. Do you think that HR interview question varies from your technical and non-technical question? If yes and no, do you think it varies? If the answer is yes, you can put it in a Q&A section. If answer is no, you can still put it. Think that HR is there and they ask different sort of question in compared to those who are sitting for technical and non-technical round. Okay, thank you. I got one response. Yes, the main task of HR is to screen a candidate, send it for the interview, technical and non-technical round, and then again get back to closing the interview with some non-technical question and also understanding the expectation, salary expectation, negotiation, and closing the interview process. So the employment process. So the question which an HR asks is more related to understand your background, just to ensure that whatever you have forwarded to the organization is apt and correct. Whether if you are joining the organization, what sort of strength you'll be bringing for the team or the entire how your contribution will be in developing the organization culture, because HR look through the organization culture and how people are behaving in it, the work is to maintain a good environment in the organization. So they'll also be checking what sort of person you are as an individual, what is and why you're interested, because HR put a lot of resources in hiring and firing process, and it's a cost to organization. So they're interested to know that why you're interested in the vacancy, and why you won't leave the job just immediately after joining. And if are you joining only for salary, are you joining for experience, are you joining to stay here for a longer duration, explore and ready to learn more, ready to grab more opportunity if it comes in your way. So these are some crucial questions for people who are already working. Some of the question can be related to leave, like why they're leaving their current job, what is the reason behind it. Again, this will give them the clarity that why the person is coming and what would be their motivation of retaining in the organization. What are the company culture you're looking for, whether it's matching with what they have worked. So if someone has worked in a very aggressive or hostile work environment and they are joining this organization, they may bring the same vibe to this organization. So these questions are quite important. And also what sort of salary you're looking for freshers, the salary band is generally fixed, and the chances are like there are scope of negotiation, but the scope of negotiation is quite on lower end. But if you're someone who has some experience, like the HR question, the HR will ask what sort of salary you're looking for. And also towards the end, one of the most important question they leave with is, do you have any question for them? It's always a good idea to ask some question if they have for them. Try to know more about the organization, the policy, and what they enjoy, what motivates them to continue working in the organization, or what they are trying or thriving to achieve as an organization in long run. So always have that question. One of the I'll just take a sample question here. So again, I think I've already covered like what interests you in our vacancy. What I find when I was searching for a job, I was looking for an organization which is giving me a lot of hands-on experience, as this is like the initial year of my career, and I want to like learn as much as possible. So I was looking for an organization which is giving a lot of support, coaching, training, which is there in your organization. There's a proper training calendar in place, and which will help me to perform my job role and also other things. So I'm looking for those opportunity where I'll constantly learn and grow. But there's a lot of field experience which I'm getting in your organization. The field you're dealing in is very dynamic, and as I've mentioned, I'm a very dynamic person. I like challenging work, And in initial years, I want to like experience a lot by doing things, by actively engaging and involving in field, and there's a lot of scope which your organization is providing. And I have also seen the expansion plan. I got to know that you're also trying to expand and penetrate in different another region which is different from what you're already dealing with. So I would also like to have that experience. So like because of that, I'm interested in your vacancy. So the other question, that what sort of salary are you looking for? So it's always a good idea to go with a salary band in your mind. So I'm looking a salary in between XYZ to ABC to XYZ limit. This is the average salary standard as per market, and the people with same experience, qualification, and skill set is getting paid in between. Though I'm quite flexible and it open towards the salary. So would like to hear it from you. So these are the answers you can frame and give. Prepare according to what the person is asking, like the skill set you have, the knowledge you have. All this will help. Advanced preparation will help you to frame these answer accurately and precisely, and also help you to build the impression by showcasing not only your knowledge and skill, your interest, your capabilities, your additional skills, which will help you to stand out and compare to all those people who have same educational background, degree, maybe may have mentioned the same qualification on the certificate. So, like, let's move on and see that what after interview round. So, as many people if I'm not sure, like I didn't get much responses here that whether like you have appeared for interview and what is the challenging part. So I'm not sure if you guys have come across these type of question, but still I'm going to run a poll here. If you have heard or if you have come through this, that these sort of question which an interviewer generally asks, please opt for your option poll and answer that these type of five question which we have covered. The five type of question which I have covered is generally being asked in non-technical round in interview. Got one response. I'll request everyone to please participate and vote. So there are a couple of people who are saying yes. So thank you for your response. So yeah, these are like some technical questions. There can be a lot of other questions. We have prepared a handout for you, and some links are attached to it. You can see those questions and some responses to it. And we have also covered some sample answer how you can effectively answer. So moving on, let's move on and say like see that what is the next step, like how do you negotiate salary? Because one of the thing which people generally struggle is salary negotiation. As a fresher, be open towards learning, apply for job which is fulfilling your requirement, but the scope of salary negotiation is quite low. Not I'm not saying it's not there, but it's comparatively on lower end. The next what we are going to cover is mostly for those people who have some prior experience, though it's helpful for those who are fresher, because you'll also be like shifting and moving and growing in your job profile. And salary negotiation will work even within the same organization and even if you're walking out of the organization, and how to handle rejection. When we talk about interview, there are rejection which we will come through, and how it what is the effective way to handle it and keep going and keep moving with it to achieve our goal. So let's start with salary negotiation. So do you know that when to and how to negotiate salary? As I've mentioned that this is something which can be really challenging for people, and this gives like cold feet to a lot of people. So if you want to share that, like what do you think when you should negotiate salary? You can share in Q&A section, and you can also put it in poll. When and how you can negotiate salary. Sorry, you can raise your hand, not poll. There are few people who have said that they are already working. I'll request you if you can like unmute yourself and share that how do you like negotiate when what do you think that what is the right time and approach to negotiate salary? Okay, so this is mostly like let's move ahead and see that when to negotiate. I think one of the crucial thing is to determine, is this the right thing to do? Like many of us fail and struggle to even determine that it's a right thing to do or not. And there's this drop in confidence level when you're yourself not sure that it's the right thing to do. So let's see and understand when to negotiate salary. If you are working and if it's not reflecting your experience, so if you are working, your experience, you have knowledge, you have performed quite well in your previous organization, and the salary offer which is in the job description or which is being offered to you is not matching your experience, that's the time where you can objectively talk about that why you deserve, you are expecting more, or what are the skill set which you'll be bringing using your experience to deliver the task and get the desired outcome. That's the time, be very objective, and that's the time you should go ahead and go for the salary negotiation. But if you're a fresher, you have just joined, you have no experience, no knowledge, and you want to start at a higher end, it's difficult to get that, because there are a lot of people out there who are willing to do the same set of job on lower pay scheme. So it's important that you see that what do you have in you, what are the experiences, and go ahead with the salary negotiation accordingly. Just see whether it's impacting your current lifestyle or not, because one of the thing which happened is you end up in like a lot of dissatisfaction, and you end up feeling demoralized if you're accepting the job, or even if you're in your current job, and you're struggling day in and out to maintain a lifestyle. So in that case, it's important to negotiate salary. And you can talk about it by saying that inflation is growing, the cost of living is increasing, and there are a few factors which is impacting you, and you're just expecting a fair wage for your work. So in that case also, you can negotiate salary, or you can go ahead with the negotiation. If you will need, like if you think that you are joining an organization and you may need a immediate wage, again this has to a lot to do with your current lifestyle. Just ensure that before joining you are clarifying these expectations. Otherwise it's going to be a difficult process for you, also the person whom you'll be reporting or handling. So if you think that what they're offering is not sufficient and you may have to go back to them within 6 months, try avoiding that, and go for the negotiation when or before joining, and just check that whether the organization can afford it or not. So maybe you're looking for a small scale organization or a medium scale organization, and you're expecting a higher in salary, but the salary band for that particular position is in certain limit. If you're not bringing something additional extra, and even if you're bringing, organization is not in capable, like in the capacity of paying that amount to you, then it's just wastage of your time and resources, and it's also waste of their time and resources. So in that case, when you're going for a negotiation, just ensure that what you're asking for is feasible to afford. Otherwise they may ask you to like start looking somewhere else, and again it will also impact your morale. So just ensure that whatever you're asking is affordable, because when you also be negotiating, you can say that this is what I'm expecting, this is what I'm bringing on the table, and as per my understanding, organization is in position of affording this. So I'm looking forward to get that. How to negotiate salary in interview, I'm just gonna touch upon this because we have very limited people who are professionals who have some prior experiences. So know your strength and weaknesses, you can play on it. So what are your strengths, what you're bringing on the table? So my strength is that I'm adaptable, but I'm also very hardworking. I am flexible, I have shifted multiple roles, and even in this role, if I have to get and take up extra tasks, if I have to manage more than what is my job, I'm willing to do that. So know your strength, portray your strength, that okay, this is my strength, this is how much I'm willing to stretch from my end, and I am expecting a fair compensation for this. Also talk about your weaknesses. It's important to know your weaknesses and be prepared for the answer, because when you go for a salary negotiation, people tend to point out on your weaknesses and play around that, and try to get a fair deal for the organization. So know your weaknesses, prepare an answer around it. Be conscious of the industry standard. Know what you're asking is like feasible and affordable for the organization, and also what people are getting out there in the market. Otherwise, there are chances that you'll end up being underpaid. So just know that you know industry standard. Educate yourself on this. Do research. Talk to people who are working in the same industry, same position, same profile, same work experiences. So just be conscious, and when you have the data, you'll use this data to negotiate with the HR. Listen to the employer. Maybe the person you're talking to is just not interested at all in, or maybe that's not the right time to talk about it. So always just see that, take those verbal and non-verbal clues, where the conversation is going, what is the scope. If there's no scope, there's no point of pushing beyond that. Better that you drop it there and maybe look for opportunity which is fulfilling your what you are looking for. So just listen to the employer. What are the extra benefits they are counting? What are the extra leverages you're getting in the job? Is there more learning opportunity? So even if you're settling down, so just be in like sure that what the other person is saying, communicating, what is the logic and rationale the person is saying and giving to you for the salary negotiation. Consider the miscellaneous benefit, like what are the additional benefit you will get out of it. So sometimes you may not be able to negotiate in terms of salary, but what are the additional benefits of flexibility you can have, uh, or which the organization is giving you. So just have a clear understanding of that also. Be very specific about a number. As I said, that if you yourself not clear what you're looking for, it's easy for other people to influence you and give you what they have in their mind. So it's always important to have a specific number in your mind as per your industry standard, your experiences, your strength, weaknesses, and how you're going to add value to the organization. So these are some tips which you can use in salary negotiation. So let's move and discuss that how to handle rejection. Because as I said, that maybe you're fresh out of college, you may not have experience. Maybe your first interview, you may have to suffer a rejection. But so how you gonna handle that? How you gonna tackle your emotions and work on yourself and move from that positively? Just always know that the rejection is not personal. That has nothing to do with you as a person. That is maybe the job requirement is something else. Job and rejection is also not a feedback on you. It's nothing to do with your work skill set. Nobody is telling you that you cannot do it. It's just that maybe at this point this is the bandwidth of the organization and they are looking for a best resources out of everyone who has like applied for it. But that doesn't mean that you're not the resourceful person. You don't have the skill set to achieve that task. Have a fresh approach. So when you get rejected, also sit and reflect that what you're learning out of this. You're becoming more resilient. You're developing patience in the rejection process, which is very important. These days, people lack patience. Those who have patience are always good at team management. They do they perform better because they have developed that skill, and they're able to also look at, think critically, and reflect and come up with solution. So when you are getting a rejection, see what you're learning out of it. What is the new thing which is like adding, what is adding in you. Please keep learning and developing. Never stop there. In like, even if you get the job, you get rejected wherever you are, just keep learning, because again, there's a lot to learn. There's a lot of change happening. We need to keep up the pace with the moving world. It's important to keep on learning and developing. And those who wants to succeed in long run, learning and development is quite crucial for them. Always have a plan. When you get rejected, don't sit with the rejection. See what next. Go and apply for other 10 companies. Go and rework on your resume. Go and rework on your planning and preparation. So what next? What next you can do to make it better and grab that opportunity next time? So this is what we have covered in today's webinar. I'll just give you a brief summary. So we started with what is happening in job and interview context, what is happening around, what is the scope of getting selected, how planning plays a major role, how planning plays a major role, how you can do effective research followed by like how you can prepare during interview, pre-interview, during interview, and post-interview. What an employer is looking for, what sort of question people ask, and what can be your sample answers. Followed by how to negotiate salary and handle rejection. So we are towards the end of the webinar. If you have any question, you can raise your hand and ask, or if you want to share something, you can put it in Q&A section. I'll be sharing a webinar feedback form in the Q&A section. Please ensure that you're filling the form. Uh, so then we'll be able to issue the participation certificate to you. I have shared the form in the chat box Q&A section. Please go ahead and fill it. Thank you for joining us today. Thank you for joining us today. Have a good evening. You can also you'll also get recording of this webinar and a handout to go through. Hope this webinar has added some value. So stay tuned to Varthana website to get more updates. Thank you. Have a good day.